Hey guys, Merry Christmas. Andrew and Accident Allies here. As you see in the last video, if you haven't checked it out, we did an unboxing of Barony, which is a great game that we just got on this Black Friday. 'Tis the season. And I'm just going to go over a review on how to play it. Smiling's my favorite, and so is having a beverage when you play. So Barony plays 2 to 4 players. People argue that it's best played with 4 people or 3, and I think it's the best because I played a 2-player game with my cameraman Tim behind, and it's fun. It's a great way to learn, but I wouldn't recommend it. But it is that's a lot of board games that don't have the ability to play a 2-player game, or like in this case, you can play it, but it's not the full effect. It's like playing Risk with 2 people. It's just back and forth. It's a little bit like that. So I would recommend playing 2 to 4 people. So there's 6 moves for everybody to do. So the way you start is the youngest person gives the first player token to whoever they choose. It could be themselves, it could be their best friend, it could be their lover, it could be their enemy. It doesn't really matter. But they give it to them, and the first person, what they do is they'll take one of their cities, which is these things. And so what you do, you place it first, and that's where you start off, and then you go clockwise. You go clockwise. So Chance was here, so he placed one here, and it was Jake green, and then it was Tim red. And then it's kind of like Catan, where the last person gets to go again. So Tim was able to put another city, and then it was Jake, and then it was Chance again. Unlike Catan, there's 3 cities instead of 2. So Chance got to play his 3rd and final city, Jake got to play his 3rd and final city, and Tim got to play his 3rd and final city. As you see, some people have more than 3 out. That's because they've already built. We stopped this game midway through. So after they got to play their 3 cities, since I went first with the first player token, I was able to build my last 2 cities. So that's the drawbacks. I think it's a little unfair to the first player because at least in Catan you get to roll for it. Here the youngest person picks. You can always just roll a dice for house rules and stuff. It's an easy remedy for that. But yeah, so that's what you do. And whenever you place a city, village, which are these little guys right here, whenever you build them or build a fortification, you get a resource. So the good thing of the resources is they're different values. So the wheat and sheep are the 2 best ones. The wheat gives you 5 and 3. 5, you won't need the silver ones until the very end of the game. Then you save these tokens so essentially this is how it works. So you get 3 tokens for building your cities. And then you also get knights, which expand your kingdom. So you start out with 6 knights. I'll just show you what I did on my turn with blue here. So I started off with 2 knights here. And on my movement phase, there's 6 phases. So one of my movement phases, I move my knights here and here. And then everybody goes. And so I moved them on turn 1. Then on turn 2, I built those knights into buildings. So you can build either a village, which can be destroyed, or a fortification, which can't be destroyed. And then eventually, on the next phase, if you build a village, you can possibly upgrade that to another city. But the thing with cities and fortifications, there's only 5 cities. You start with 3, so you can build 2 more, and fortifications, only 2 more. The good thing about fortification, as you might think, it's a fort, and that other knights can't kill it. So I placed this here, so Tim over here in red couldn't attack it. And so this is how a fight would happen. So Jake's coming here. He can move in here, but we will coexist. But if on his turn, if he does the movement phase, he can go in here, destroy my village, and when he does that, I have to give him a token. So a strategy is to spend all your tokens, so if somebody takes your village, you can't give anything. But so I would give him this if he does that on his next turn, and that's a big swing because that would give him, I'll lose 3 points, he gets 6 points. And then speaking of points, so you get points when you turn your knights on water. We won't go into water, but you can't build anything in water. But so I built this fortification. I got this token that's worth 5, and if I could spend up to 15 points, so I got 2 wheat, and I'm gonna spend 2 wood. It gives me 16 points. And then if I did this on my turn, I would go from 15 points to 30. I spent 16 tokens, I get no change. They go into the bank and continue that process all the way to 60, 70, or 80. Now you're probably wondering, how do I get to 70 or 80? You have to build a city, so you can build 2 cities. A good example is if you look at Jake and Tim, they've built the 4th and 5th city. And so what they did, they were here at 0, but when they built the city, they went down to 10 and went down to 20. And so then if they spend their 15 tokens, like Jake has a lot here, he can spend 15, go to 35. And so he's, if he did that, he would be in fact beating his brother Chance, and you have 5 more tokens. And so you want to have diversification, and you want to fight over villages. It's a fun game. It kind of, with 4 people, you don't know what everybody's going to do. As all brothers, Jake's attacking me, even though his city's way over here. He could have already plantations and done other stuff. Chance is coming out with 3 knights as well, probably going to attack me, Tim, or Jake with those guys. And so it's a fun game. It's nice that everybody's kind of in it. The one time I played, it felt like everybody was close until the very end. It's a nice change from Catan. You know, it takes 45 minutes once you learn it. But yeah, it's the pros and cons of it. It's a nice new game. I think it would get monotonous and repetitive once you get the hang of it, because it's just turn after turn after turn. And I didn't really go into other turns, but I kind of explained briefly. But the cons is, if you have somebody that takes a while to play, like my friend Erica, she decides and be very strategic. It's a good strategy. But in a game like this, that will just prolong the game than it needs to be. So if you have a good group of people, you might not invite everybody. That you got to know your audience. And so if you have fun guys and girls, it could be a good game. It's probably not my favorite game, but it's a good change it up if you like board games. It's a great, yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm glad I got it. Everything looks cool. Yeah, going into our next video. So I got 7 Wonders here. It's a pretty popular game, but we're going to do an unboxing of 7 Wonder Architects. My friends Josh and Erica, they got us this for Christmas, so Christmas came early. And something that we like to do is we'll record the victories on here, so dates and who won. As you can see, we had 3 games already in this one. It's a nice way to keep track, and just so that everybody know, you can relive the memories and see how much you actually play these games. And that's so great. But yeah, thank you for watching. Everybody have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.